I've previously made a video about the primitive roots code that I got out of Bing AI. I had to make that video separate out of an annoyance because Bing AI will not let me use Google Chrome, which is what I typically use. And so I had to do it separately. But actually, that turned out to be very interesting and okay uh, because the code that Bing AI generated was the one that worked the best. And so it works really, really well. And it required only one variable change. So it was easy to fix. And if you see in that video, the only change that needed to be made was, let me see where I have that. There's one part of the code where, see if I can navigate this well enough. Right here, this is the error. It is not from I in range phi of n, it's for I in range n. If you go to that video for the Bing AI primitive roots, which is the one right before this one in the playlist that this video will be in, you will find it. I'm sure I'm going to put it in the description of the video. But then I went to Bard and asked Bard how it did primitive roots. And so yes, it caught the error that 15 does not have a primitive root. It's not one of the forms. It does tell me that the numbers that have primitive roots are these forms, trivially 1, 2, and 4, odd primes, any power of an odd prime. But it should have said that it's also 2 times any odd prime and 2 times any power of an odd prime, which is what Bing AI said, which was correct. So Bing AI, comparing Bing AI, Bard AI, and ChatGPT, Bing AI was the one that got it completely correct. Now in this case, how many primitive roots does 47 have? It doesn't, Bard does not know that it's phi of phi instead of just phi. So it's the phi of 46, which is 22. So it got it wrong. Then does 47 have 22 primitive roots? I know the answer to be correct, to be 22. I've actually, if you look at my channel, I've actually calculated this particular case in gory detail. So no, it gets it wrong. It doesn't have 46 primitive roots, it has 22. It's a phi of 46, which is 22. Then I asked it for Python code, and the Bard code required a lot of fixing. So much fixing that it eventually ends up being just me copying the Bing AI code to get it to work. So I had to add the coprime section right here. I had to add this to make it work. And then I also had to add the phi so that it could do the proper looping. And so, and sure enough, it gets it right, and it doesn't give me anything for 15. But I had to like really wrestle. Now, when it comes to ChatGPT, because I've been using ChatGPT longer, I know that there's many ways in which ChatGPT itself, even though Bing uses ChatGPT, gets it wrong. And so I have multiple cases. I'm not going to go through all of them in here because they're all variations of no, it's not correct. So for example, if you ask how many primitive roots does 15 have, it'll go down the rabbit hole. And there's even a different way in which I've had it come back at me, which I don't have in this particular screen, where it goes down through a different rabbit hole and it's wrong. Then when I asked it for the code to generate it, now in this case, I can make this code work if I wanted to. Right now, it only works for, it works, but if you give it 15, which doesn't have any primitive roots, it doesn't have any way of checking, and I'm not going to try to fix it. I mean, it would take me time, and in the end, I would have to take the Bing AI code and put it in here. And so if you go to, I think I'm going to put the Bing AI code in this video, even though there is a separate Bing AI video for that code, just so you can see what the correct answer is. And I'll leave it at that. But in summary, Bing AI did it perfectly well, except for one really tiny error, then BART AI needed so much work that I might as well just use the Bing code, and ChatGPT just really got it completely wrong in every possible way, except it gave me much prettier code that I think I can work to make look really good and correct. It's almost there. So in balance, Bing AI got this one right.